Hello everyone. So today we're moving round the mandala of the five Buddhas and we're going north where we find the deep green Buddha Amoghasiddhi. And Amoghasiddhi transforms the defilement, the poison, the negative emotion of jealousy or envy. And his wisdom is the all-accomplishing wisdom. Om Amoghasiddhi Ahung. Om Amoghasiddhi Ahung. So here he is, the green Buddha Amoghasiddhi. And you'll see that his right hand is held up in what's known as the abhaya mudra, the mudra of fearlessness. So he's the Buddha that represents fearlessness. And of course, that's very relevant to us today, very relevant to us at the moment. So yes, his all-accomplishing wisdom transforms jealousy or envy. And his emblem is the double Vajra. Not just one Vajra, but two Vajras. Two Vajras. So it's almost like a reinforced Vajra. And often I think of that Vajra as whirling through the sky. I think that's probably because Amoghasiddhi's element is air. And he's often imagined as being pulled by these strange bird, half human, half bird creatures in a chariot through the dark night. So his time of day is the middle of the night, the darkest part of the night. And that's when we most need fearlessness. And I've no doubt that for many of us, the dark hours of the night can be quite anxiety provoking. Wondering if we're going to survive the coronavirus, wondering if we're going to lose loved ones, with everything being so uncertain. And sometimes I describe Buddhism as being a preparation for death. And if you're not used to thinking about death, I think that can sound very overwhelming and, not very appealing really as something to contemplate. But actually, it's the only thing that we can all be certain of, that we're definitely going to die. And yet it's the biggest thing that we all tend to ignore. I'm reminded of a story in the White Lotus Sutra, and it's the story of the burning house. So what's described is all these children playing at their games, all at their favourite games. They've all got different games and they're running about pretty unaware, and the house catches fire. But they're so involved in their games that they're really not thinking about the danger that's around them. And their father, a very old wise man, is outside and he's thinking, how on earth can I distract these children from their games? How can I make them see that actually they're burning? They're going to be burnt alive. So he comes up with this idea that what he's going to do, he's going to offer them their favourite toy. If they all come out, he's going to offer them whatever their particular favourite toy is, something much more glorious and magnificent than they've got so far. So that's what he does. He shouts to them, out here, here's all your favourite toys. And they come rushing out because, like us, they're all greedy, all out for a bargain, and they come rushing out for their toys. But actually what the Buddha gives them then is, you could say, the perfect toy. He offers them, so in the story, it's all these different carts. Of course, we're talking about, a couple of millennia ago when carts would have been an ultimate toy, but he offers them the best cart of all. Maybe it's all done up in gold and silver and jewels studded and everything. And so that's what he gives them. And of course, they're all delighted. Even though they didn't get exactly what they thought they were getting, they get something even better. And I was thinking, it was making me think about how when people come to classes at the Buddhist centre, they don't really know what they're getting. So often they have come from burning houses in terms of depression, anxiety, feeling like there's something more to life than they've been aware of. You know, there's something that drives people to keep looking. So they come to the Buddhist centre. But they usually come not for Buddhism, but for meditation. And we can see why, because meditation is well known about, particularly mindfulness. So, you know, they're not interested in Buddhism, they just want mindfulness. But of course, there's a context to meditation. And the context of meditation, in a way, it could be any religion. Could be any religion. But what we have on offer is Buddhism. And one reason that people sometimes don't mind coming to a Buddhist centre, of course, is because they're not asked to believe in a God. You know, they're not really asked to believe in anything. It's much more try it and see. Just see what's here. Try the techniques and see if they work. So they try a bit of meditation, and very gradually, of course, we give a context of Buddhism. You know, why did the Buddha tell us to meditate? Why did he recommend that? Why did he recommend the precepts and so on? And so very gradually, people find that maybe they get what they're really looking for, you know, something that can make a difference. So another aspect of Buddhism that's often seen as not very palatable to newer people is, you know, this word suffering. Dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, because some people think that what's being said is that Buddhism is a bit depressing, it's all about suffering, but of course it's about overcoming suffering. It's about the fact that we cause ourselves suffering, we cause ourselves and others suffering, and we cause ourselves suffering ultimately by denying the truth of reality. So just coming back for a minute to yes, the ultimate reality, the only thing that we can be absolutely sure of in our life after we're born is that we are going to die. And I don't think there's ever been a time in our lifetime when that's been more coming to the fore than now. You know, we've got to see that actually life is very fragile. So Amoghasiddhi, he helps us turn towards that fearlessness. It doesn't mean it goes away, you know. It doesn't mean we've got to be brave and not be in touch with our feelings about it. We've got to be in touch with our feelings about it. But actually, it's only by facing reality, facing our fears, facing our deepest fears, that we can come to terms with them, that we can learn how to be, through Buddhist practice, more equanimous in the face of our own and others' mortality. So yes, what about this envy and all-accomplishing wisdom? Well, I'll just say very few words because I'm nearly out of time. So yes, when we're envious, when we're jealous, it's a bit like we're not in touch with our own potential. So we're looking at others and being, you know, jealous or envious of them. So when we feel full of our own accomplishments, confidence, that's what we're really talking about. When we feel confident, we don't need to feel jealous about anybody. It's like we are unique and we'll do things in our own way. We're enough as we are. That's a good place to leave it. We're enough as we are. Okay, see you tomorrow.